What is up, friends? Hope you're doing so well. I've got another quick tip for you. This is a great way to navigate arrangement and move your track around. So, as you can see, this track is big and I have up to 100 different channels here. It can be kind of hard and kind of confusing to select a big chunk of time and move it somewhere else. So, say I just did that. That's Command L to grab the loop, find the loop that you want, Command L, Shift Command L to select everything within that loop, and then you can move things off over to the right or to the left. That's really cool, but I have a better way of moving your track parts around. Basically, if you hit H, you're going to close everything down so it looks all little like this and you can see everything. Even better than that, if you shift click from the very bottom up to the very top of your composition and you collapse everything by pulling up on that, you've got a much more viewable sort of composition. You can see everything really neatly. And now this is the kicker. The best way to move your pieces around in a composition and change things up is just create a global group where you group absolutely everything about the entire track. Now, if I want to select this neatly and move my verse over here, easy peasy, I can do that. Here's another cool trick. If you actually create an empty MIDI clip underneath this group, create a little MIDI clip here. Now I can select the group and the MIDI clip, and I can actually use that MIDI clip to move my stuff around because it gives me something to latch my mouse onto and move around like that. So in this case, what I want to do is I want to move this old intro, this big old intro, to the very front of my track. And that's going to be super easy because now I'm in a group. So I'm going to take my little MIDI clip, going to move it over to where the old intro starts, going to get this group and select it, Command C, paste it over here. Now I can eat this up, just hit delete, and now I can grab my old intro and bring this homie right on over. So now I have that over here. When you open the group up again, everything is nice and arranged neatly for you. And then when you're ready, you can ungroup your tracks and go back to having all of these individualized groups. Hope this was super helpful for you, but it's a really easy way to move your parts around in a composition when you just create a global group. One more little trick about this. This is really sweet. Say you want to have a section that's blended from like, this drop, and you also want to blend the B section. I do this all the time. I'll keep one group here like so, and I'll duplicate my whole global group track like this. So now I have two versions of the track in two separate groups. And what you can do is you could take the B section of this group. Let's go ahead and take this B section of group two or of song two over here. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to splice it into bar 97. So I'm going to select everything here and move this over. Now, from bar 97 to bar 113, I have the A section of the drop and the B section of the drop happening on top of it. And when I want a checkerboard, I can go in and I can remove the drums here, and maybe I remove some of the basses from over here and some of the basses from over here, and then I'll remove the music like over here and over here. And the opposite group on track one, the one that's up on the top, I'll just splice in the opposite checkers here. So we know that we've just removed these middle checkers and these middle checkers. So up here, I might actually remove the front checker, leave the two middle ones, remove the back checker, and then, oh yeah, this one too. Let's get rid of that. Boom, there we go. And then we will take this piece out because that's being occupied by track one. So now I'm able to splice together track one with track two, even though it's a duplicate of the same track. And I can combine this section from two different parts of the composition into one new part. So super easy to work this way. Just grab everything into a group, use an empty MIDI clip to shift things around because it lets you actually latch on with your mouse. Hopefully this was helpful. I will see you all in another video. Happy producing and much love.